right, I think we can go ahead and get started here. So I'll go ahead and call the Halifax Finance Committee meeting to order. It is 6:02 p.m. Today is Monday, April 22nd. This meeting is being recorded by Area 58. In attendance from the Halifax Finance Committee is Cheryl Zerla-Burke, Michael Bennett, Frank Johnston, Jim Walters, Bill Smith, and myself, Todd Dargy. Absent is EJ Bryan. So first order of business on the agenda for tonight was the approval of the meeting minutes from our last session, which was April 8th, Monday, April 8th. Has everybody had a chance to review those? Any additional? I know Jim caught an update there, so good catch, Jim. Anyone else have any changes or concerns with the agenda? I mean, sorry, the minutes.
Nope. Look good.
No,
Okay.
they're fine.
All right, hearing none, I guess, would somebody like to make a motion then to approve the meeting minutes from Monday, April 8th?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Michael. Roll call vote, Frank.
Yes, on the April 8th minutes.
Thank you, Frank. Jim?
Yes, on the minutes.
Bill?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Motion carries 7-0. All right, so next up on the agenda was
Todd,
just
6-0.
6-0.
I'm sorry, 6-0. Yeah, thank you for the correction, Frank. Apologize. 6-0 is the correct count. Next on the agenda was the review of the town article. So we just had this as a placeholder, Cody. I don't know. Has anything developed here, I guess, where we're in position to? No. Okay.
No, I don't have anything. No new updates.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll just keep this on the agenda for the next couple of weeks until we can kind of nail down those last ones. I think it was 7, 9, and 15, I think, were the three open ones just for us to vote on.
The only one that actually there has been an update on was the Community Preservation Act article, which is number 9. So the selectmen voted to do present a 1.5% surcharge. So we were holding off on that because the percentage was up in the air. They voted 1.5. What I can do, I should have already sent this, so I apologize. But what I can do prior to the next meeting is provide you with the financial breakdown of what the impact would be. So we put together a chart of what that 1.5% would look like to the average homeowner to a home valued at X, and then the total amount for the town with the exemptions. So I apologize for not sending that out, but I will do that prior to the next meeting.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. And then I guess in regards to Article 15, were we going to try to see if we can get the school back in, I guess, to discuss the HVAC there? And are they available next week? Do you know, or have we?
I haven't heard back from them yet as in regards to their availability. Hopeful they are. I was really hopeful that they would also would have met with the elementary school committee to, I know that you guys voted the number, but I was hopeful that they would have gone through and voted the budget, so they could also go over their line item budget with you. So I was trying to tie that into one, but I do not believe they've done that yet. And then I was also waiting to see if they would have a figure, if any, for the special town meeting, but I had emailed them a couple of times and I've not heard back on that yet. So we'll try to have them in next week, and whatever they can present, they can present. But I was trying to tie it all in with all of that information so you could get as much information as possible.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, and there's not much time left, right? So it's next week, and then the 6th, I guess, right, is the last two opportunities. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then so might as well just hit on the last one, which is the Article 7 there. So for the solar pilot agreement, I guess, any update as to like how that's coming along? Just
as far as I know, I didn't get a chance to catch up with our assessor today, but I do not believe there's been any any contract in place for that. So what it's looking like is that we will probably skip over that article this year. And what will happen is we will, rather than have a pilot, we will tax them like we would, any other property. So there won't be an impact necessarily on revenue. It just goes kind of from one pot to another. We had initially planned on it being under a pilot where it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. We will just tax it and it'll go under the tax levy for this year.
Okay. Is that going to change the budget anyway? Because we changed that, right, in the budget for this year to have it.
Yeah, that sheet is just our internal, sheet we utilize for our revenue estimates. And then we obviously use that for what we can expend.
Yeah.
So bottom line will not change, no.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
We budgeted conservatively with the pilot estimate, recognizing that there was a chance that it may end up being taxed just under the levy. So we wanted to make sure we were going to covered. So the number we used was a conservative number where we will be covered either way.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Anybody have any questions on any other points on any of that? Any of those articles? No. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for the update there, Cody. Appreciate that. So then just moving along in the agenda, the next item on the list was the FinCom vote on the reappointments of Michael and Cheryl. So both of them are up for their terms due to expire at the end of this fiscal year. So the purpose of the vote is just the, give assurance, I guess, that the committee is, stands behind them as for a reappointment. And so I would represent the FinCom vote in the session, I guess, as part of the reappointment, which is due to occur, I think, 30 days after the town meeting, I believe, right, Cody? Is that?
Yeah, so I have a note on the calendar to have it on the selectmen's meeting, the first meeting in May, to put that group together again.
Okay, awesome. So obviously Michael and Cheryl will abstain here, I guess. So so it'll just be the four of us, I guess, here taking a vote. I guess would somebody like to make a motion to recommend the reappointment? I guess we can maybe do them individually. So recommend the reappointment of Michael to the FinCom.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Jim. Roll call vote. Frank?
Yes, for Michael Bennett.
Bill?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Motion
I
carries.
get to vote too, don't I?
Actually, yeah, you can vote too. Sorry, Cheryl, yeah.
I vote yes as well.
Okay. And I am a yes as well.
Where's Michael?
Motion carries. Motion carries 5-0 for Michael. And then same for Cheryl. Would somebody like to make a motion to recommend the reappointment of Cheryl to the FinCom?
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you, Michael. Thank you, Bill. Roll call vote. Frank?
Yes, for Cheryl.
Jim?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both for all of your service to the FinCom. They definitely appreciated. All right, so then moving along, next up was the reserve fund transfer request. I haven't seen anything come across, Sandy, right? There's nothing. Are we expecting any?
Fortunately, we are.
Okay.
So we had approved, or town meeting approved a few years ago, funding to replace the roof at the highway barn. So we bid that out, going back almost a year, and then weather kind of hit, so it delayed the project in the fall. We had a contract in place for them to start in the spring. They've started this spring. They ripped the roof off. I guess in ripping the roof off, they found that most of the plywood underneath is rotted and not up to code. So they cannot put they can't just reapply the metal roof. So we need to actually re-plywood basically the whole roof. That is a significant cost. We're trying to work with the contractor. There's some other behind the scenes issues, but we definitely anticipate a reserve fund transfer coming forward once we have a figure of what it's actually going to cost us to do that.
Is this the same roof that we repaired a couple months back?
No, this is we didn't. This was we're replacing the whole roof. So
No, I
town meeting.
understand that, but we did a transfer to do a repair for
That was the water
$7,000.
department.
Yeah.
That was the water department roof.
Water department. Okay.
Okay.
So a couple questions, I guess, Cody. When do we expect the the full figure in? And is there any ballpark estimate at this point in time?
I can tell you, part of the issue is the contractor doing the work has given us a figure that is just not, we can't agree to it because it's just way too much. So we're trying to, either negotiate a price that makes sense. We had an independent price estimator through an engineering firm give us, an estimate with prevailing wage and stuff. So we're trying to get as close to that as we can. We're not even close to that. In the meantime, the issue is the roof it's taken off. The only thing there is just the plywood. So time's of the essence.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Somewhere in the range of 30 to 50,000.
That's all in the plywood.
Can we get another quote?
That's where we want to be, or that's the current bid?
That's where I anticipate it being on the lower side of that. That's where we want to be, is on the low side of that.
Can we get another quote from another roofing contractor? Blue Talk that for now and take a look at somebody else.
Yeah, we're working through those things. Part of it is we have a contract in place, and there's I can't get into it too much. There may be some litigation. So as soon as I have a figure, I'll bring it to you. But I just wanted to make you aware that something will be coming. It's just a matter of when and how much.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone on that before we move on? No. Okay. All right. So then, just moving along here. Next up was the committee liaison updates. I don't know if there's anything to share. I guess Cheryl or Jim, Frank. Any material updates? No.
We haven't met on the zoning bylaw committee review. I think there's some work being done by the town attorney and Ed, and that's kind of what's up on the next meeting.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And any movement on Sandy's replacement or anything? Have we started that process in interviewing? And
Yep. So we've almost concluded the process. We met as a team last month, I think, actually in March, right, Cheryl, to start screening the applications. We narrowed it down to a few applicants that we brought in for a very lengthy interview, 40, 50 questions, hour and a half, 2 hours, and got a really good idea of the candidates. We have a tentative offer of employment out to one of the candidates right now, and I'm hopeful to hear back tomorrow.
Cool.
Awesome.
Is it a person that's worked within municipalities before?
It is not.
It is not.
And just out of curiosity too, was Sandy involved in the interview process just to give her a take or anything like that? No? Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that sounds like some good progress in the works there. So thank you for that update.
If real quick,
go for it.
The candidate accepts the offer, they'll be able to work under Sandy for several weeks, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. That's the goal. And then, we kind of figured that we weren't going to find somebody with municipal experience, or, if they did have municipal experience, they weren't going to have a ton. Just recognizing municipal finance right now, if you go on the MMA, Mass Municipal Association, look at the job board, like there's tons of municipal finance jobs open. So it's difficult to attract someone who has municipal finance experience to a smaller community. So we put a plan in place where Sandy and I have discussed, she's willing to come back after the start of the fiscal year, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, to come in and help train somebody. And then also we've worked with Eric Kinchef. He is a municipal accounting consultant. He provides services literally. He's probably provided services to almost all towns in the state at one point or another. So I spoke with him a few weeks ago, and the goal is to kind of have him on standby. So if things come up, just to be a sounding board for questions on how to do things if needed. So I think between those two things, hopefully a couple of weeks of overlap, I think we'll be in a good position.
Eric's very good.
Yeah, he is.
Very good.
All right. Anything from anyone else on that topic?
Mm-mm. No.
No. Okay. All right. So then, moving along here on the agenda was next up was correspondence. So I haven't received anything. I don't know if anyone has received anything. No. Okay. As may arise, any other?
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, of course, Jim.
So I'm curious as to the conversation with the selectmen regarding the ARPA funds and a chipper versus fire department gear. Was that conversation held at the Board of Selectmen meeting? And what was the outcome?
No, we haven't had that conversation yet, Jim. So the plan is to bring that before the the board at their May 7th meeting.
But they voted on the town articles last meeting, right?
Well,
Yeah,
the
but
ARPA
ARPA-
funding's separate.
Yeah, ARPA doesn't go
Oh,
to town
okay.
meeting. So
All
yeah,
right.
so the priority was just to try to get through the town meeting stuff, and then we're gonna meet May 7th. We'll bring the ARPA stuff forward, and then
Okay.
make sure to pass along the concerns that the finance committee expressed.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else from anyone?
Mhm.
No? Okay. All right. So next up was public participation. I don't see anyone online, so I think we're good there. So next meeting planning. So I think we should plan obviously to meet next Monday, the 29th, to hopefully nail down some of those last remaining articles and potentially the reserve fund transfer. Anyone have any concerns with meeting next Monday, 6 p.m.?
Nope.
Everyone's available?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I guess we'll plan for that. I guess then that brings us to the end of the agenda. Would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Michael. Thank you, Cheryl. Roll call vote. Frank?
Yes, to adjourn, please.
Jim?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Motion carries 6-0. Meeting is adjourned at 6:19 p.m.
Good night.
Night.
Right.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.